So let's talk about Coinbase. I want you guys to know that it is our number 2 priority. If I said it was our top priority, it wouldn't be totally accurate. Our number 1 priority right now is our server migration, and it's important for a number of reasons. It's important for security and scalability. We're dealing with users, trust in our users, all of you and all of the folks that you guys are introducing to Eazy. We're entrusted with their information, and so we want to make sure that more than anything else, we have a system that is secure. And of course, as we grow and we get more and more attention, we know that not always are we getting the kind of attention that we might like, and so we're going to be proactive to protect ourselves and to protect our users against nefarious activity. So that process is going into place. We have 5-6 layers of security that come along with that server migration. So it's a major move, but it's very, very important. And in terms of scalability, it also allows us to be really responsive to the growth in users and bots and so forth. So that process is being completed this weekend. We've got most of our databases already have completed the migration, and we're completing the final migration of the remaining databases this weekend. We're going to testing in the coming week, and if all goes well, we plan on having that complete migration. And so that's our number 1 priority, and a lot of attention and energy is going into making that happen. So all of that's happening in the back end. Obviously, it's not something that you guys necessarily see, but it is very, very, very important. And so the number 2 priority is Coinbase. And Coinbase obviously is very important, especially for those in the U.S. We know a lot of our U.S. users currently do not have an exchange that you're able to access. So what's going on with Coinbase? So let me have a conversation with you guys as business builders, as folks that I trust, understand the interest of EasyBot in the long term. You're not here looking for a short-term get-rich-quick scheme, but you're looking to build alongside us a long-term sustainable company where you can plant your flag and build passive income for a long, long time to come, and you can feel confident introducing people to a company that you can trust, it's transparent. And so I'm going to have a conversation with you guys, and just to help you understand where we are. So Coinbase presents some challenges that Binance.com, for example, does not. The number 1 challenge that we have with Coinbase is there's a lack of support that we get from Coinbase. There's not a lot of documentation, and there's a lack of support from Coinbase itself. So when we run into issues, the window of support that they offer is limited. The documentation to solve those issues is limited. And so a lot of times it's just a matter of digging and researching and trying to figure things out. We've run Coinbase successfully, open and closed trades, and then we found that, sorry guys, hold on one second. And then we found that that we run into some challenges. So I'm going to pause for just a moment because I was just reminded of something super important, and that is it's Saturday. And before I get into the nitty gritty of the business at hand, we always start this call with words of gratitude, because I'm going to talk to you about some things that are not going in the way that we might want them to, or in the timing that we might want them to. But I want to set the atmosphere, and I want us to always do that in practice of how we approach our business. And that is looking at the things that are going well for us, being grateful for all the things that are going amazing, whether that's in our business, in our personal lives, anything at all is worth celebrating. It's worth creating an atmosphere of gratitude, and if we can build on that, seeing all the things that are happening around us, jump back in and talk about updates, and we can talk about building our EasyBot business. So let's back up just a bit, and I'm going to ask for a couple of volunteers. We'll go through this part. Super important that we set the tone. So let's take 2 or 3 volunteers to get our meeting started. Anything at all that you want to give thanks for. Steve, I see you unmuted, so you're going to be my first volunteer. Steve Essel.
Oh, well, good morning from Colorado. How are you?
Colorado, good. I'm warmer than you are, for sure.
Hey, I'm just waiting for things to, ease out of Coinbase Pro. I've been working with a guy named Al Fritz. He's kind of my upline, my senior subject matter expert. we're out talking to a number of different people, but the fact that Coinbase Pro is not operational yet here in the U.S. Certainly is a key discussion topic, because we don't want to leave people with the impression that it's ready to go day one. So
give me something.
We're all anxious to.
No, don't tell me about what you're anxious for. Start me off with something that you're absolutely thankful for, grateful for, celebrating.
Oh, what am I grateful for? Well, let's see. I'm grateful that my mom is healthy. I was down with her in Dallas for a good month, and my brother just moved up to Colorado, has some cognitive disabilities, and we're getting him squared away and getting him on different programs, and things are moving along much quicker than I thought they would. So very grateful for all that.
Absolutely. All those amazing things going well for you. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Thank you, Stephen. Steve and Crystal, you're up next. Steve, Crystal, you're multitasking here this morning. Welcome to the call.
Welcome, guys. So I just wanted to take the time real quick to just say how grateful I am to you guys putting everything together. I'm very thankful, of course, for my kids, for my family, for my husband, but also I want to let you guys know that you don't need to have a lot of people. I just want to let you know that I recruited one person. Actually,
did we lose Crystal? I think we lost Crystal for a moment there. So, Crystal, we're going to come back to you because you're frozen. So let's take our next person up. Timothy, Crystal, I'm going to mute you and we're going to come back to you just a second. All right, Timothy, come on in. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, David. Just truly grateful to be here in the right place at the right time, right opportunity, right people, right environment. Just feels really good to be here. And
Timothy, your audio is waking up pretty bad, buddy.
Okay.
And I really want to hear from you because you're doing some amazing things on YouTube. Can you try and dial back in, maybe calling on your phone?
Sure can.
All right. Benjamin, you got your hands up. Come on in.
Hear me?
Yes, hear you great.
You have my hand up. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank
you back. A couple things I'm grateful for. First of all, I'm grateful for the journey that we've had together, you and I, and this entire community, to understand what point in the journey that we're actually at. And I'm tremendously grateful for that because it lends a lot of perspective. What I'm also grateful for is the perspective of having a software company of my own and knowing that nothing ever goes like according to schedule. Like we aim for something and we do our absolute best. And the other thing I'm grateful for is the fact that I understand your commitment towards all this. And I've seen what you've been in the last year, and it's fantastic, and I'm grateful to be part of it. So that's all that I'm grateful for.
You know you can promote any. Appreciate you being on this journey. We use that word journey quite a bit, and it really is a journey. You know, I think if we get into this thing that we're in together, we really appreciate that it's a journey, which means that there are going to be things that pop up, there are going to be amazing moments, and there are going to be some challenges, and all of it is going to lead us to a place that's going to put us in a better position than we are today, if that's the journey that we decide to be on. And even though when we started this journey, we thought it would take us down a certain path, today it's taken us here, and I'm super excited to be here, each and every one of you. Taking this journey, this leg of the journey, and it's awesome. All right, Lauren, you're unmuted. I hear you, so that means you're coming in next. Good morning. Lauren, do you hear me? We hear you. All right, Lauren, I don't think is with us. Okay, let's see. Who did we miss? We had somebody that lost audio. Timothy, you back yet?
Not yet, David. I think I'll share the next time.
All right, your audio is still pretty choppy here. All right, we'll come back. So no worries. If we missed you, we'll come back because it's important. We want to hear from you guys. Definitely want to hear from Timothy. Timothy's amazing, and any of you guys who are doing some things that you'd like to share, I want to make some space for you guys to share. This call, honestly, guys, I want to make this call a place where we get together, we share with one another. It's not a presentation call. I don't show up on this call to present or lecture. There will be times when There's some things that I'll choose to share, or we'll have some other leaders come on and share. Just for some record, my background is in, I have an extensive background in sales, so I have some perspective on, how we set up and have conversations around a sales environment. I'm in car dealerships for over 20 years, ran sales teams for more than 20 years. So I have some things that I can share along the way, but I certainly don't want to make this an environment where you come and listen when I lecture. But I would love to hear from each and every one of you and your various experiences. Many of you have built amazing teams in this space. I'd love to hear some of what you have to share. And some of you have had amazing careers in all kinds of different industries, and all of it can contribute to the success that we're looking for here. Penny, I see your hand up, so you're next. Come on in.
Thank you so much. I was just reading that Denise has asked if this is going to be recorded.
Thank you, Penny. Appreciate you looking out for us.
Recording in progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Penny. All right. Who else? Anybody else? I see Timothy pop back in. How's your audio now, Timothy?
It's still not good, David. I'll have it together the next time.
You are in the meeting now. There are more than 16 participants in the meeting.
Still
This
struggling.
meeting
And
is
Crystal,
being
you
recorded.
popped back in as well. Crystal, we lost your connection for a little while. How you doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Hey guys, so I want to say that I'm grateful for this whole experience, the journey. I come from network marketing, and I love the breath of fresh air that we have within the structure. I'll just say that. I will say that I don't want people to get too consumed and like, oh my God, how many people do I know? I want to tell you guys that it can be just one person that really blows the structure of your organization. For example, I have this one girl, she's a star, she brought in almost 85 people on my second line. So it's really just building community, having a structure for me. When they do come in with, your people don't feel lost. And I just want to thank you for taking the time and building everything that you guys did or do.
Awesome. Glad to have you here, Crystal. And thank you for sharing that. Julie, come on in. Put your hand up.
Unmute. Hello. This is like my first time ever asking a question. Bernard had brought me in. I'm excited for this incredible journey as well. And I'm trying to also build a team. So I have one of my friends that's very much into trading things like cryptos and stocks, and he went to go do taxes. So he had asked me a question, and I thought, maybe somebody in here would actually know. I think I gave him a good answer, but it's like I'm trying to kind of bring him in because I think he would be a good leg in my structure to bring in other people too. But he had asked me, sent me an article about the tax wash rule. How there was that guy who traded, and this was stocks and it's not crypto. So I did say that, crypto is an asset. So you don't actually, also that the bot trades only in profits. Like it doesn't close unless if it's a profit. So I guess what had happened to that guy was he had all these, buying and selling as like a day trader, and he only made a profit of like, I don't know, 80 grand, but he had sustained all these many losses, that was like, so he ended up getting taxed more like 800,000 or something, like off of 800,000, because I guess now somebody had told me that the tax, or I read it, how before, if you think back in the day when you do taxes, if you had, let's say profits of, $1 million, but you also had losses of like $500,000, and, you would kind of be able to deduct it from each other. And I guess he had asked me, he's like, well, what happens with that? Because, I don't want this to happen. And I'm like, well, please tell me if I didn't explain this right or not. One, the bot always trades in profits, so you wouldn't really have that to worry about to begin with. And then the second thing I think was the fact that it's treated more as like an asset, not as like, the way stocks are. So do you have any input on that?
Right. So first I'm going to ask you is we're going to come back to your question. But
Okay.
we're going to put a pin in it because
Okay.
right now we're closing up this section where we're just focused on what's going well. So I want
Okay.
you to take a quick minute and just tell us what's going amazing in your journey, in your life, in your business.
Just in general, well, I actually have an amazing guy that I recently started seeing, and I love him and his dog very much so. They're very good friends, and I'm bringing them into the journey. We're actually Zooming together.
Nice.
So I'm kind of excited. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited to have somebody who is as excited about the opportunity, that I am, that I'm like, man, I really believe in this product. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm also very excited. This is completely random, but I just got back from the Supernatural convention in Indianapolis. So that's why I haven't been able to start this really until this week. So I've been attending a lot of Zooms, but like all last weekend, I got to meet the characters of my favorite show. I practically, passed out. I thought, like meeting, of course, all the sexy Winchester boys and whatnot. And it was kind of funny because I met Castiel, and then he said to me, like, I went to grab his arm, and I forget with COVID, you can't really touch. They're like, no touching, And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I can't touch you. And like that would be the thing that I would say when I meet my crush, of course, which is hilarious, but I had a lot of fun with it. So I'm thankful for her. Yeah.
Great life experience. Fantastic. So when we come back to your question in just a moment,
Okay.
somebody remind me to come back to it in case I don't, but we'll come back to it here very shortly.
Okay.
I just want to close up this section. If there's anybody else that wants to pop in, I want to give you a minute, and if not, then let's close up this opening section of our call, and then let's get into the meat and potatoes, and we'll start off with Julie's question. So I'm going to close up this section and just talk a little bit about what I'm grateful for. The thing I think that is most obvious for me right now in this moment is that on February 22nd, my wife and I landed in Dubai, and we arrived in Dubai with the anticipation of being there for a week. We were there for our pre-launch event, and that was an amazing experience. It was amazing to be in Dubai. Our anniversary was the 26th, so we actually got to celebrate our anniversary in Dubai, 23rd wedding anniversary. So I'm super grateful that I was able to have that experience. So I was able to do it with my wife. And then, as many of you know, we ended up staying in Dubai for another 40, or a total of about 42 days. So totally unexpected, but really, really grateful that all the things that worked together to allow that to happen. Super grateful for our kids who've been able to hold it together. Renee, who's on the call. When I say kids, our youngest is 15, our oldest is 27. So we didn't leave little kids at home. But thankful for our amazing children who have been just incredibly supportive. Renee, David, who manage support calls, have grown so much in this space of crypto. Their own journey as it pertains to crypto, watching them mature into this space and now being in a place where they can help others. Just all of the things that have happened, all of you guys that are part of the community that have been supportive of all of the effort that we've put in to make that happen. Muhammad, watching and working so closely with him, and just being so central to this thing that we're doing, and this amazing team of people that I get to watch and witness as we put together this incredible company. I'm appreciative mostly for our users, for our members, for each and every one of you who've entrusted EasyBot and have decided to go on this journey, especially you guys who are business builders. It's not just you're not just using the product, but you're willing to take the reputation of EasyBot out into the streets with you, to your friends, your neighbors, to represent EasyBot to others. I'm super grateful for you guys, especially here at the beginning of our journey where there's some bumps in the road, there's some challenges, and there's some things that aren't as smooth or easy as we'd like them to be. And I'm appreciative and thankful for those of you who are patient, who are supportive, who are defenders of this vision that we have and this thing that we're building together. Thank you all so very much. Thank you for showing up on these calls. Thank you for continuing to believe in what we're doing here together. All right, so with that being said, let's come back to Julie's question. And Julie, the short answer to the question is, he needs to speak to a tax professional. We got to recognize that, we're a global company, so there are people even right now on this call from all different parts of the world, and the answer to the question as it pertains to taxes is going to be different depending on where you live in the world. I'm assuming, based on your question, that your friend lives in the U.S., but it's going to be different in in all different places around the world, and in every person's individual situation. There are a lot of different elements that play into how to answer that question. So I'm not going to even take a shot at it other than to say that if he's seriously interested in getting into crypto, and that's an important question, then now's a good time to start seeking the advice of the tax professional.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, and I know Bernard said that he knew people that specialize in crypto and stuff, because he had mentioned something he was going to ask his regular accountant, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, the reason am like, not all accountants would know the answer, because I know I did my taxes and mine had no idea what I was talking about. So I was like, I don't want you to think that, like, you know, if they say something because they try to dissuade you, but they do not know, you know, because sometimes people, they just don't really like crypto. Like, they try to give it, like, bank people try to give it, like, a thumb rap sometimes, I feel like. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm like, if you do want to, I'm like, talk to somebody, definitely. I had said that too. I'm like, I don't know for sure, but I mean, I feel like, yeah, exactly. But thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so let's jump back into, we were talking updates, and let me back up a little bit and rewind for some of you guys who joined the call a little bit later. And there are a couple of pressing things. The most pressing thing that we're getting asked about from our users is Coinbase. The most pressing thing that we're dealing with internally is our server migration. So our server migration has the majority of our attention. Second most important priority for us is Coinbase, getting it stood up. And so server migration should finish over this weekend, go into testing in the beginning of this week, and our anticipation is that we are fully operational by end of this coming week. Super important for us because it provides layers of security and scalability that are important for us as a company, for our users, and for our future growth. So with those things, we're really excited about what that means in terms of the kind of stable experience that we'll be able to create. If you guys remember last week, we had an unfortunate event where the system was down for a number of hours. Again, those are the kinds of challenges that a company that's growing at the pace that we're growing, those are the kind of challenges that we face. And so we're confident we will have significantly less likelihood that we'll face those kinds of issues when we're all moved over. So let's talk about Coinbase and where we are. The reality of why we haven't launched Coinbase, and I hate to position this as I'm pointing the finger, but I am kind of pointing the finger, to be honest with you, and I'm pointing it at Coinbase because it's just the challenge that we're facing. If I'm honest with you guys, I gotta tell you that we have been trading at Coinbase for weeks. We've had the connection. Mohammed's been trading. We've been trading both coins, and we are ready to launch it, ready to release it, and then there's an error that pops up. Figure it out, find out how to fix it, how to address it, and the documentation isn't always very clear. The support Coinbase. I'm breaking up. Sorry, guys. I think it's a little bit windy out here. I'll do my best. Sammy. I definitely want you to jump in and talk to me if you're on the call here. So, thank you for that. So, this is what we're working through, guys. We are doing our best to create and understand what needs to happen in order to launch and release a stable, consistent experience. We could have launched this 10 days ago, but it wouldn't have been a stable experience, and it would have created frustration both for us and for our users. And so it's a balancing act between, do we just put it out there and let people go because they're anxious, and maybe it makes us look bad that we haven't launched it yet. And I know a lot of you have asked, well, can we get an update? Well, sometimes it's difficult to give you an update because we think we're someplace, and the next day we wake up and we're not there anymore. And so it's very difficult to publish timelines when the longer we go, there's less certainty around those timelines. So all of the delay is simply because we are waiting until we've got a consistent, stable experience, and we are confident that we can release that to the team. So are we close? Yes, we're very, very close. Like I said, we've been trading in Coinbase in internal accounts for weeks, and for the most part, all is well. There's tweaks that have had to be made. Just up until yesterday, we had an experience that popped up that we've never seen before. So now that has to be understood and addressed and dealt with. And so those are some of the challenges that we're facing as it pertains to Coinbase. However, there are some contingencies that we're putting in place that will run parallel. Not even going to go into those details right now, but they are going to provide some solutions that I think everybody here will be happy with. So all I'm going to say about Coinbase is, guys, please understand that we're doing the best that we can. We're moving as fast as we can. It is not for lack of desire or effort. It is just there are some things that are out of our control, and we're working as fast as we can. All right, you're muted. All right, so that's it on Coinbase. What else do we need to talk about? Withdrawals, we got deposits and withdrawals going. Let's talk about withdrawals real quick. Just again, I want to give you guys as business builders clarity on some of the processes, some of the things that we'll do that will help us to outline and define these processes more clearly. You'll see that start to get implemented in the coming weeks. But I want to be really clear about withdrawals and that process. When you're doing the withdrawal, number one, it must be a USDT TRC20 address. We are processing these manually. When you go through the process to do a withdrawal, you're going to get a one-time password. It says OTP. It's a one-time password that will go to your email. Some people are not getting that email. If you wait the 90 seconds that the timer clicks down, you'll be able to click a button that will submit a manual request. If you have to do that, then we're going to ask you to be patient because there's a little bit more of a process there. You're going to get another company that will send manual on your account. Done. Right now, because we do not have a second factor authenticator on our accounts. That's going to change in the near future, which means what we're doing here is recognizing that if somebody got access to your account, all they need is your email and to figure out your password to your EasyBot account, and they can withdraw funds out of your EasyBot account. So we want to put another layer of security into everybody's account by making sure that there's some verification in place. One of the things that we'll layer as a permanent level of security is a second factor authenticator. We'll talk more about that as we get close to launching that. So I know there's a little bit of friction, or it feels like a little bit of friction for some folks, but we're doing that in the intent of protecting our users and protecting the funds associated to your accounts. So if you have to request a manual OTP or manual process for your withdrawal, just understand that it's going to take a little bit longer. There's an email coming back. Please look out for that and respond to it. Right now, you cannot change email addresses. I've had this question come up a number of times. We do not allow you to change your email address for the same reason that I just mentioned. It's a security feature. Once we have the two-factor authentication launched, then we will allow you to change your email address. So if you want to change your email address because maybe you're using Hotmail and you're not getting emails from us, you can make that request manually. Just go through our support ticketing system and you can make the change for you. Let's talk about deposits. Right now, I'm going to encourage you guys, please encourage your people. Do not use ERC20. We're seeing a spike in ERC20 fees. I don't really have clarity around why that's the case, but I'm seeing a spike that makes me uncomfortable. And I know people are paying it, but it is, and it's high to the point where we have an estimated cost of those fees, and what I'm seeing that's being charged, and this is on the network side of things, is even higher than what we're estimating. So please, guys, if you can encourage your folks and help them figure out a solution to send funds using the TRC20 network, USDT TRC20, they're going to save a lot of money in the process. So we made it available because there was a demand for it, but I strongly discourage using that as a way of sending deposits. All right, so if somebody has done that and they're seeing extraordinary fees, there's very little we can do about it. It is just what it is on the Ethereum network. All right, so I want to pause for a moment from updates. We can come back and I'll answer questions that are important to you guys, but there's somebody, I want to start this off with somebody, Sammy, let me know if you are in the position to jump in and talk about.
Yeah, to jump in and talk about what exactly?
Oh, Sammy, well, you got a lot to talk about. So Sammy's amazing. Sammy live in Atlanta, correct?
I do live in Atlanta. I just got back.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm talking to the right Sammy. That's why I asked. All right, so Sammy lives in Atlanta, and Sammy had an amazing opportunity to go to Dubai and hang out in our corporate office, meet Muhammad and Coach Ken, and came with an amazing group of individuals. So Sammy, I just want you, if you would, just share a little bit about your experience and kind of what you took away from the couple of days that you spent in Dubai and the time that you got to spend with Muhammad and Coach Ken while you were there.
Okay, awesome. So basically, while I was in Dubai, I was able to speak to some really, really amazing people. I met Saeed, I met Coach Ken, I met Muhammad, and these three people are definitely some of the more some of the more talented, some of the smarter individuals that I've met when it comes to any business ever. And I'm grateful to be in position where I'm able to, be in front of these people because not only did they explain some of the issues that were going on in the company, but they were able to show us, just how hard they were working on a daily basis and just how powerful the system is right now. And there's a lot going on in the background that, the Eazy members and founders and national directors are actually working on that we don't see. And, on our part, right, which is the users, the people who, we want to experience something that is amazing, but on our part, especially in the U.S., we're just in this waiting period where we may feel a little discouraged, or we may feel like maybe the product doesn't exist or doesn't work because it's not here yet. And I'm here to tell you that 100%, the people who really started this, the people who are ahead of us when it comes to the vision and the sight of what's happening in the background, they are 100% real. Everything is 100% functioning. They're giving us clarity on everything step by step by step. And what we have to understand is that we have to be patient with what's going on, especially with people who care more about us making money than them making money. One thing I would say about the Eazy founders and everybody who's put in position to win is that we all have a responsibility, and that responsibility is to help each other up. And they've kind of given us this platform to be able to not only make money in an amazing product, but to be able to show other people how to do the same thing and to do that for free. So it's incumbent on us to be patient and to just wait for the next steps and how we can get started with Coinbase. And guys, it's really, really not our fault. It's not our fault at all, or it's not their fault at all, because they're working the hardest they possibly can. And they've shared with me more in depth about the problems that they're facing when it comes to Coinbase. And the customer service with Binance versus the customer service with Coinbase is like day and night. So we have to understand that as a people and really move like that. David, I don't know if there's anything specific that you wanted me to talk about, but I'm here for anything when it comes to that.
You know what? We didn't plan this, and so I'm just kind of throwing you out there. And I knew you had an experience that was fresh, and so just wanted you to share whatever came to your heart. So I appreciate that. And I want you guys to know Sammy isn't just, he's not just talking. He's also out here working. Sammy's got almost 200 people that he's personally sponsored into EasyBot. And do you have an idea of the size of your total organization right now, Sammy?
Yeah, it's very, very near there. It's close to 170 personally, or a little bit over 170, and almost 1,200, almost 1,300 globally with my entire team. So we're all working. We're all trying to build the biggest team that we can. As soon as and the thing about that is we're just putting everybody in position right now. And guys, if you're waiting to build your business, that's totally fine. If you don't know if things are about to happen right now, that's totally fine. But what I would encourage you to do is go ahead and get people in position, as many leaders, as many builders, as many people who are just interested in crypto in position now. Because what's going to happen is when EasyBot starts to blow up and when momentum really starts to build, this is going to have 1 million users, free and paid users by the end of 1 year, by the end of 365. So the person that you're thinking of getting on, right now, they're probably somewhere in some organization not making the money that they deserve or not making the money that they need to, and somebody else is going to bring them to EasyBot before you do. So what you need to do is you need to get in gear and go ahead and bring as many people as you possibly can on. Why? Because it's free, number one, and number two, you position yourself and the rest of your team for greatness. So that's exactly what you want to do. And as soon as Coinbase does launch, we're going to 10x, because now we're going to have results that we'll be able to be more confident in, to be able to promote what EasyBot is and what it's going to do for our community.
Man, we don't go anywhere. I'm going to ask you about positioning people, and clearly you've done this before. This isn't your first rodeo.
No.
You're out. I want you to talk. At some point, you started and building a team, and you decided this idea of sharing and building a team and pulling people together was something that you wanted to commit to. And you've obviously done fairly well in the past, and so you're bringing that energy and that experience into EasyBot. Talk to somebody who's just getting started, who they don't know how to do any of that. They've never done it before. Where do they get started? How do they take the first? What are some of the first steps that you would encourage them to take?
As far as building a team, as far as building a community with Eazy Bot, the first thing that I would encourage you to do is build your mentality around what you're actually doing. So number one, the mentality is that you're putting somebody onto something. Number one, that's free. That's the most powerful part of what you have. When you're putting up somebody onto something that's free, there's no loss to them and there's no loss to you by simply giving them information. It's just information, right? And a lot of people are scared to give information. I've sold things that are not free. I've sold things that are $1,500. I've sold things that are $2,000. And those things are definitely not free. It takes a certain type of courage or a certain type of confidence to be able to come and say, hey, I have a product and it works. I want you to try it. I want you to get started with this, right? Now, when it comes to a free product, you don't need as much confidence. You don't need as much drive to be able to show them what's going on, because eventually, when they start using that free product, when Coinbase actually comes out, you're not going to have to worry about, making money at all. They're going to want to upgrade themselves. So it's the mindset and the mentality that comes behind getting started. Number two, you haven't gotten started before. What you want is your own results. Let's just be real. You want results. If you and this is something that I've taught thousands of people over the years. If you truly want your results, then go ahead and get those results first before you build a team. Because at the end of the day, you want to feel confident in your product. So once you build those results for yourself, you get your 10% for that month, you get your 8%, you get your 12%, you get your 15%, you get your 20% for that month. Just depending on how the market goes. Once you get results, now what you can do is you can show other people, hey, these are my personal results. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a product that is going to consistently make you gains. And then when they sign up for free, now you can show them your personal results. Hey, I've done this. Hey, people in my organization have done this. Hey, the national directors have done this. Hey, David's showing us this on a daily basis. So you definitely want to, upgrade to a package that's going to get you all of these results. There's a $250 pack and there's a $995 pack. But first, you can go ahead and try the free pack. So you kind of want to set things up in a sequence where now it makes sense to you. You're building your confidence. Your confidence is building your skill set. Your skill set is building your income. And then that income builds your confidence once again. Skill set, confidence, income, skill set, confidence, income. And over time, that's going to be a whirlwind of momentum for your business.
Love it. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. You guys are going to hear a lot more, see a lot more. Sam clearly he's very serious about what he does. And we've got a lot that you can share with us. So thank you for sharing. I know I just kind of threw you out there, but clearly you come with a lot of experience. Coach wants to come in behind you, so please don't go far because I'm sure he wants to talk about his experience.
Coach? He's on? That's fine.
Yeah, Coach can come on in.
Hey guys.
Hey Coach.
What a phenomenal trip we had. I was in meetings back to back to back. Sammy and his team hung out with us for about 4 hours, I think, 5 hours, and what a great group. They brought in another group from India, huge builders from India that took a look at what we had as well. They absolutely loved it. Sammy's group that he came with, I don't want to mention names because they're big builders, and one of them is still under contract with another company. But they absolutely loved what we have, guys. You guys that are on the phone right now, and if you can't tell, I came down with a cold on the plane. I went and got the COVID PCR test, and I got sick while I was on the plane, and actually spoke at a men's breakfast this morning. I know I've had a couple people reach out to me, and I got home from the men's Bible study breakfast and got a little lunch and right on the call here. But guys, we are, as a company, we are positioned for massive growth. And Mike Ditka, I don't know if you guys remember the Chicago Bears football coach back in the 80s. The guy was absolutely an amazing coach. But when he took over that team was in a massive losing streak. And his first meeting with that football team, which he took to to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. He said, I've got good news and I've got bad news for you guys. He said, the good news is in 3 years we're going to win the Super Bowl. The bad news is there's a lot of you that aren't going to be here for it because you don't have the faith that we're going to do it. Guys, we are going to be one of the largest companies in this space worldwide. And there's going to be a lot of people on this call that are going to make 6 and 7 digit monthly earnings. There's also going to be people on this call that, you just weren't able to stay in the pocket because you saw that we had some challenges at the very, very beginning. And we're going to miss you if you decide to move on. But you guys that stay, you're going to win huge with us. Let me tell you something about any winning team or any winning boxer or MMA fighter. They don't show when they win the title and you see the celebration. What you don't see is all of the challenges that they overcome prior to that celebration, to that victory celebration. Well, we're going to have a victory celebration, guys, and you get to be a part of it if you choose to. If you don't, we love you either way, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a group that's going to be celebrating together because I think we've got the best product in this space worldwide. And yeah, we're having a few growth issues, and I think we're all, disappointed, so to speak, about Coinbase Pro for the U.S. market. But it's not something that we're going to just crawl up under the bed in the fetal position and put our thumbs in our mouth. And one thing you're going to learn about us, guys, is we're like pit bulls that won't let go. We'll get Coinbase up and running. And we'll get other exchanges as well a lot quicker, too, because we've already hired somebody in programming because it was needed that's going to onboard these new exchanges. So we got a full-time programmer not committed, we paid for him, we're paying for him full-time to onboard these new exchanges. But David, thank you. You always do an incredible job, brother. There's a reason why you're our COO, and love and respect you.
If there's one thing I can say, Coach, I know me and David, we love you more than Bitcoin and Pizza combined. And,
Absolutely.
to piggyback on what you said, I was speaking to some incredible builders with hundreds of people in their organizations in forex, in the NFT space, in the crypto space. I was speaking to them last night about this product, and they were very, very skeptical about what this can do, because we're able to tell people that we have something that has 50% plus market crash correction, and that their money is not only safe, but they'll continuously make money day after day after day without the bot holding their money. And when people hear the facts and the stats on how the product works, that's when they get excited. That's when you're going to see a certain light in their eyes. So guys, what I want you to do is don't be afraid. Don't have fear of telling people what we have, because maybe you believe that they'll think it's a scam, or they'll think it's too easy, or they'll think it's not enough. But people who actually understand the space, people who don't understand the space, are excited to get into crypto, so they'll probably hop on anyway. People who know the space, and you feel like maybe there'll be contention, don't be worried about them, because once they see the power of this product, they're going to follow through.
Okay.
Right. Well
Love
said.
it. Indeed. Absolutely well said. Guys, we're so early in this. And again, that's why I started off this call by saying just how grateful I am for those of you who are here at the beginning. You have an amazing opportunity. Founders Club is the reward. For those of you who see the opportunity, believe in it, take advantage of it, do a little bit of work. It really is just a little bit of work. Go find 3 people, help them duplicate finding those 3 people and see the benefit of upgrading to an advanced VIP package, be a VIP member, and that's going to be an incredible support for what we're going to build going into the future. These challenges that we're dealing with right now, guys, the company is less than 2 months old, and there are challenges that at least we know the fight that we're up against. We're fighting that fight, and we're going to win. As Coach said, it's just a matter of time. 6 months from now, this will be a distant memory. Things will be running and humming along smoothly, and the reward for those of you who've been here at the very beginning will be absolutely phenomenal. So thank you all. Stay plugged in. Don't let any of this slow you down. Don't get distracted by the naysayers and even by the delays. Like, get really, really focused. I love what you said, Sammy, about like the first step is mindset. You know, before you go out and do anything, say anything at all, check what's in your head. Check what you believe. Check what's in your heart. And then figure out how to put a plan in place and execute that plan. But if your head's in the wrong place, you're listening to the wrong people, you got a whole bunch of doubt, negative energy spinning through you, you're going to have a really hard time building things successful. So let me, maybe Lincoln come in. I'm going to ask a couple people to line up. I want to hear from you guys. AJ, Martin, come on in. I want to hear from you guys as well. Linda, you got your hand up. Come on in.
I think you called on me. The wind was kind of knocking out your voice there, but I heard my name.
Yes, you're up.
So,
come on in.
All right. First of all, I just want to say how grateful I am for this. So I'm an old dog entrepreneur. I've been at it for a long, long time and never really been successful at it before. No matter what I've tried, I mean, I've had little successes along the way. And with this, I was just looking at my numbers. I've recruited, or not recruited, I don't like that word recruit, because in the old days, recruit meant you bring somebody in and then you don't do nothing with them. I have referred and are sponsoring 11 people directly, and for me, that's a big, big deal in the short amount of time, couple weeks that I've been in. And then looked at my second level for the very first time, and I didn't realize we could look at our second level, and I have 5. And I can't tell you, I'm thrilled to death with this, and I know now that I'm going to build a big team. You guys, I don't know how you did it, but I've been waiting all these years for you guys to come along and create something like this where you've got the perfect product, you've got the perfect servant leadership. I'm so very grateful for that. And you make everything so easy, and you know, I can just tell you care about us so very much. And I just can't say enough good things about that. Now, having looked at my second level, I just noticed one thing real fast that I didn't realize. One of my first lines is in Australia, and she recruited this person, she told me, and I looked, and I guess she must have used my referral number instead of her own somehow, because her referral is on my second level. And oh no, wait, that's right. No, it's not. It would be on my third level, because now I'm confused.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, because we can't solve it on this call, so do me a favor, reach out to us in support, send us an email, support@easybot.com, and just outline what you think the situation is, and we'll tell you what we can do to help.
Okay. I think I figured it out.
Okay.
She should be on my second line. Yeah, never mind. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Real quick, before we have anybody else come in, there's somebody on the call. Your name is Modesta. Just want to give you a heads up that you are hitting that mute button, and so we're getting a lot of background noise from you. We keep muting you, but if you would do me a favor, just check where your phone is sitting. It seems like you're hitting it accidentally, so I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to ask a couple more people to jump in, and I know I'm just throwing your names out there, so any one of you guys, if you're able, AJ, would love to hear from you, Martin, Warden, and Michael.
Here, David, is Martin.
Martin, come on in. So, Martin, you've been trading in EasyBot for a while, and Martin, you and I have an experience on another platform, and I would love for you to talk a little bit about. We're not going to use names, but I do want to get your particular sense of what your experience has been like so far with EasyBot. I know when you and I first met, it took a little bit of effort getting you going, and I'd love to know just kind of what it's been like for you so far, and how you are going about building your team, any particular points, or anything that you want to share with our business.
I can share the screen if you like, but
no, let's not do that. But just give us some highlights.
Okay. One of the things I've discovered is this is really an easy build. If if you present it right, especially where you can come in for free and kick the tires. One of the things we forget, us that have dabbled in the crypto space, that only 3% estimate of the world holds or have done anything in crypto. So it's, that leaves a lot of people to bring in. And what's nice about this is it is a safe space where you can learn about crypto, learn about the coins, learn about trading, and understand more about the emerging blockchain that is, forecasted to be far more valuable than the internet. Trading's going great. 75% of my trading is the default program. 25% I'm aggressive, and that's going great too. And I'm just learning, but I'm just absolutely thrilled that in this down market, there are so many transactions and so many sells that, one of the hesitations when you tell people you can make money when the market goes down, they don't understand that. They think it's leveraged or short selling. They don't realize that no coin drops straight down. It jigjags all the way down, all the way up. It goes sideways. And all those are buying opportunities for the bot to buy and sell and bring down your average cost. So even though all my coins, since I got in, the market is down, sometimes substantially on some of the coins we're down to the 12th and 13th trigger, but the coins are still making money, still buying and selling, the bot's still creating revenue.
Awesome, and it's all passive. How much interaction have you had?
Pardon me?
How much interaction have you had to be able to generate income using Eazy?
I don't understand your question, but
are you setting it up and leaving it alone, or are you in there like?
I set it and forget it. I'm testing 2 coins, just customizing the bot a little bit, but basically besides that, I'm just letting it run its course.
Awesome. One of the things that you make me think about that I think is important, and Sammy touched on this as well, is that you got to use the bot. Of course, I know that there's a lot of guys still waiting on a U.S. exchange, but you got to use it. And one of the things I appreciate that Martin just shared is that he's using the default strategy, and he's willing to test out some other strategies of his own. And what that's going to give you is a certain level of familiarity with the platforms, confidence in how to use the platform. The best thing that you can do to help if you're building a team, assuming you are, because we're on this call, the best thing that you can do for that team is to be familiar with the product that you're introducing them to, help them introduce to others. And so you got to have a package that allows you to diversify in enough points. If you're on a free package and you're limited to 2 points, right now you're limited to 1. So you want to make sure that you're on a package that allows you to diversify. A whole bunch of different things. Here, I'm going to ask AJ or Mike if Michael, if you are in a position. I'm trying to pass the time because I know I've got a lot.
No worries. You got me?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the States, David, and get all settled in there, and thank you to the family for taking care of the base camp while you've been gone with your wife. But, as Martin said, and as Sammy said, everybody, realize crypto is just starting. This is exciting for EasyBot, but as someone that's been in for a long time, you have to understand, and I've said it since the 4 weeks I've been here with these guys. These guys are pumping the brakes to make sure that we don't have a crash and burn. I know it's frustrating. I'm in the States. We don't have the trading, but as Coach said, everybody needs to take some blind faith, take that first step, and just know this was created because there was an issue before with the trading platform that everybody was with. That's how EasyBot was started. It wasn't started to go make a bunch of money. It was a solution to a problem that was existing with a previous opportunity, and now, as Coach says, this is their painting. They get to take the time, but understand, Coinbase is amazing, problems, pain in the butt, however you want to say it. Realize they're already behind the scenes working on additional exchanges. A year from now, Coinbase probably will be the last draft pick, if you will, for anybody to join with. But this is where we are right now. So I want to kind of echo what Sammy said, and that is just tell everybody right now. Have some blind faith. Get them locked and loaded for the free position. But also understand, everybody, the brilliance of EasyBot and what David and Coach and Muhammad and everybody put together with the Founders Club is going to afford all of us to win. Even if we only do one person and two people, that's all we ever sponsor. Guess what? You are going to benefit from the growth of everybody going. The Founders Club, though, realize, don't get intimidated by a Bren. Don't get intimidated by a Sammy. Understand, get into Founders Club, because then you benefit from them. It's like having a Sammy in your team. You know, we all are going to encourage everybody. We're all going to help everyone. But realize, if you're going to be here this early, just lock and load, get the Founders Club done, because that is going to be massive. Coach has told me over and over, you know, that potentially is going to be 6 figures per year, just the Founders Club. So I just wanted to say, you know, be really excited. You know, I've been in this industry since I had long hair, and, you know, everybody knows my joke. I'm just a lot more aerodynamic now. But this is the smoothest takeoff that we've been a part of. You know, obviously we cannot control what a Coinbase does, but realize this: Coinbase is just one exchange on the planet that we're going to utilize to get moving forward. But EasyBot is just getting started. So plant your flag and make sure that you're sharing this with everybody, because again, you know, Sammy's going to be an amazing leader with us, Bren, and a whole bunch of others. And I don't want to name people because I don't want to slight anybody, but there's just a roster of talent that's already here and assembled in EasyBot, with people that, as Coach says, we're all servant leaders. We've all been to the tops of programs. We've all had the rug ripped out to no fault of our own, but now we're all coming together to be able to put this project together to benefit everyone. The biggest builder or the stay-home mom that's never built anything can win with EasyBot, and that's something that, you know, everybody really, you have to understand where we sit. You know, this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar project, and Founders Club is going to be a game changer for everyone, but I want you to understand this too. It's spring, no matter where you are in the world. It's the new season. The buds are getting on the trees. The grass is starting to turn green. The seeds that we plant right now for EasyBot are going to be the fields that we get to harvest in the fall. If we go to build right now and we all just say, you know what, blind faith, tell somebody today. Make that your mantra. Tell somebody today. And that's what we all need to realize, is tell someone today. Then every single day, ask yourself, if my team did what I did today, would my organization, would my business be growing? If you answer yes every single day for the next 90 days, I promise you, you're all going to have an amazing Christmas, whether you like it or not, because it will start snowballing from person to person to person. And, you know, again, just buckle up, everybody. Know that the exec team is pushing as hard as they can. There's nothing we can do about Coinbase. They're already looking into other exchanges, but just have some blind faith. They didn't come this far to say, well, you know, we're just not going to do this. You know, sorry, you guys should go look at some other opportunity. No, this is our chance to back the execs, to back EasyBot and say, you know what, we have the chance to have their back while they're fighting for us through these exchanges. We're going to go show to them. We're going to keep building and do our part. As I always say, the part that we can control. We can't control what's going on with the exchanges, what's going on with the migration from the servers from EasyBot to my EasyBot. David and the team have all that. What we can control is tell somebody today. Share it with someone today. Because people are going to win with the bot, with the project, whether or not they recruit a person. And teach people, because again, the youngsters of the planet do not get taught this. Turn on an EasyBot for free. Take $25 of your weekly paycheck from McDonald's or from top level exec and start creating your own retirement piece by just allocating a little bit of your money one night at the movies into your EasyBot, and then look up from 2 years from now and see what that compounds into. So with that, David, I appreciate you, man. I know you guys are in the shuffle and hustle and getting the new dig set up. But I want to thank everybody. And Sammy, I'm glad you had a safe journey, and I look forward to building with everyone. So just make sure you guys today share with someone. Take it upon yourself. Share EasyBot with somebody.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so very much. Very, very important words. And one of the things I want to add to that, and AJ, if you're in a position to ask you to come in next, and then Brian, Craig, I'm going to ask you to close us up. I'm going to take some questions, though, before we go. But one thing I want to echo or add to what Michael just shared is one of the things that would be super helpful for us is that we have a Telegram room. And I think if you're on this call, you're more than likely you're in that room. It would be very, very helpful because that room can turn in a moment. You know, the commentary that happens in there, it's understandable. People are frustrated. They want updates in real time. And oftentimes for me, and I'll just share my own perspective. This is me talking to you with David, not as the COO. It's difficult to give an update when you're not entirely sure what to say, and if what you say today is going to be in the thing that you can stand behind tomorrow. And so sometimes it feels like it's just better to say nothing than to offer more and more uncertainty. When the most important or the most accurate update I can give you is I don't know. And that's a hard thing to say. And so I said that to say where you guys could really help, and it helps you, it helps us, because it becomes the corporate image and the corporate voice, is that we show up in places where EasyBot's represented and your voice is heard. Because if you're on this call, you believe in what we're doing. And if you believe in what we're doing, then you know that the challenges that we're facing, that Michael has just mentioned, you know that the team is addressing them, we're facing them, we're going to overcome them. And when we do, when these set of challenges are overcome, we'll face some new ones, and we'll overcome those as well. And you'll do the same in your own businesses. And so I want to encourage you guys, spend some time in our Telegram room, add your voice, be a positive contributor to this space. Sometimes people have questions. We're super busy dealing with some other things, so we're not always able to get to those questions. I just want to acknowledge Mohammed as the CEO of the company, with everything that he does. The fact that he shows up in Telegram and makes an effort to answer people's questions is absolutely amazing. So I know if he can do it, guys, every single one of us on this call can do it. And you got to understand how hard it is for him to do it, because you got to know what happens as a result of that. He shows up in Telegram. He's got 5 minutes in his day, 10 minutes, and he wants to contribute something. And now he's got 100 private messages that are coming at him because he became visible. Those are the kinds of challenges that we face. And so you guys can take a lot of that load by being visible, by being present. And maybe it doesn't benefit you because you're not talking to somebody who's present. So the more you practice talking about EasyBot, the more you practice supporting the bigger vision, the more confident you become in your own language and your own positioning. And that's a place that's available, it's accessible, you can all jump in here, and it would be a major, major benefit to us collectively if we saw some more participation from our leaders and our team. So I just want to add that. All right, we got a couple hands up, so I'm going to acknowledge you guys, and then AJ and Brian Craig come on in. Gwen, come on with your question.
I just want to acknowledge the fact that I've experienced different types of platforms. And your name again? Your name again?
David.
David, I just want to say to you that type of transparency of what you just said is what will keep me engaged. And especially when you make the statement about sometimes it's better to say nothing. It is just very fluid where that is concerned. However, if you did that a little bit more, we don't know right now, we're 6 months out or something like that, especially with people that are coming in or where I came in because there were people before me. And so that type of acknowledgement, I think, speaks volumes when it comes to our particular community. So thank you so much.
Sure thing, and that is noted. It's a practice that I am working on. So I've noted. Thank you for that. Hey, Benjamin, come on in.
Hey, a couple questions. First, I saw the withdrawal button, so thank you guys for working on that, getting that back up. That's awesome. And I have two questions, and they're both timeline questions, but feel free to answer it in order of priority either way. Can you speak to this question number one? Can you speak to the quote unquote how long till the inner transfer option, and then also can you speak to the how long of when the company will start doing email correspondence to bring people all to the same page so that we have that type of support? Thanks.
Great. Two great questions. The instant transfer that Benjamin's asking about is the ability for you to transfer funds from your wallet to another wallet. So on our roadmap, it is an important thing because we know that it's going to help some of you, particularly those of you who are building teams that have access to a crypto wallet. Maybe you're bringing somebody in that has to go to KYC and you just want to move them along, so you're willing to add funds to their wallet for them. So that is something that is coming. I don't have a date that I'm comfortable sharing with you just yet. It's important, but not critical. Right now, we're facing some critical things. Critical in the sense of it's super important for us to make these things happen to go to the next step. So high on our list of things that we know are important, probably pretty easy to actually do. And so I don't imagine it's going to take us long, but I definitely want a place to give us a time limit. To your next question about email correspondence, that's a really good question. Again, not something I'm going to commit a date to, but in the very, very near future, within the next 10 days, I'll say that much. All right. Good questions, Benjamin. Thank you, sir. And then Gio, you got your hand up. And guys, this is a good time if you have questions. Come on in with your question. Just raise your hand and I'll take your question. Gio,
hey, how doing, guys? I just joined the Zoom. My question is, I think I set up my account with Binance. So what's the next step now? Because I remember you guys say we cannot use Binance anymore. So what should I do now?
Got it. So Gio, we are using Binance. Binance.com is absolutely wonderful. However, this is a business builder's call, and so respectfully, I don't want to go into the detail of all the things to do next. In your particular situation, I want to make sure that you get all the specific answers you need so that you can get off and running. So let me ask you this. Who invited you? Who is your sponsor? Is that person on the call with us?
Yes. His name is Schneider. I think he's in Turkey, something like that.
Okay, so the first person you want to connect with is, and this is for everybody, not just you, Gio, but the first person you always want to go to is connect with your sponsor. If you got a question about how to get going or anything at all, connect with your sponsor, which means that if you're sponsoring people, it's your responsibility to get educated and informed. Plugged into our communication channels. So, Gio, your first step is connect with your sponsor. If your sponsor doesn't have the answers to the questions, then the next place that you can go is to our knowledge base. And go to support.eazybot.com. You have an entire knowledge base that answers a whole lot of questions, probably many of which you haven't even thought of yet, but they are going to be important to you. So spend some time on the knowledge base, get familiar with that. If you still have more questions after that, then we do a live support call Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. You can join that call. Breezy and Peter do an amazing job of answering questions, doing live support. And they also do a 7 p.m. Call Q&A call. 7, and this is Eastern time, by the way. 7 p.m. Eastern. Those are great calls to jump on. So a lot of those are resources available to you if you have questions and you need some one-on-one assistance.
All right, thank you, then.
All right, you're welcome. iPhone, do me a favor before you ask your question. Let us know your name, please.
Okay, so sorry. So I connected with my iPhone, so my name is not showing up. So Joe is my downline. So his problem because he's living in USA. He can't use Binance now. Okay, so maybe in two days after, I see they said on the announcement this morning, so they're gonna give the data for using Coinbase Pro. So Joe may be patient.
Okay, so the best thing you could do then, and this is again for everybody who's waiting on Coinbase, make sure that you've got funds in your Coinbase wallet. Make sure that you've got not just Coinbase, but Coinbase Pro. Please keep in mind that we are connected to Coinbase Pro. Don't want you guys not to have Coinbase Pro when we launch, and you're like, if your Coinbase account is not going to connect. So, so make sure you've got your Coinbase Pro account set up. If you've got to do any ID verification, get that out of the way, get funds in your wallet, whatever you're trading with, get that in your wallet. You need to have some funds in your EasyBot wallet to pay software service fees. Okay, so we don't take software service fees out of your exchange. Your wallet in EasyBot has to have some funds in it. We recommend 5% of whatever it is that you're trading. So if you're trading $1,000, you want to put $50 in your EasyBot your software service fees. Of course, if you're referring others and they're signing up to advanced VIP packages, those funds can be used to pay your software service fees as well. So that's what you can do to get ready, and then as soon as Coinbase Pro or UX Exchange is ready for you, then you'll be ready to take the next steps, and we'll have plenty of calls and resources that will help you know how to get started.
Okay, so we just are waiting for the announcement for the Coinbase Pro?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe later tomorrow? You don't know yet?
We don't have a date that we're prepared